Welcome to Longer and Higher, a series that brings valuable insights into the benefits of investing long-term for higher returns. I'm Esther Lim, analyst at Smilegate Asset Management. In today's video, we will explore how one can find stocks that have the potential to become the next multi-bagger. The S&P 500 index advanced close to 25% in 2023, which put the benchmark back near its record high from January 2022. The S&P 500 is a market cap weighted index, meaning that larger companies contribute more to the movements of the index. Over the past 10 years, market cap weighted returns were usually close to their equal weight counterpart. 2023 has been an outlier, with the market cap weighted index outperforming by more than 12%, which is more than 4 times the average difference. The S&P 500's performance in 2023 has been defined by the Magnificent Seven, which are Nvidia, Meta, Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Apple. At the end of 2023, the Magnificent Seven made up about 29% of the S&P 500's market cap. That is the largest portion of S&P 500 market cap ever dominated by just 7 stocks. These 7 stocks have pulled the index higher by 71%, while the remaining 493 stocks have just added a modest low single-digit return. There is no doubt that holding the largest U.S. companies was the winning play last year. As we enter 2024, the big question is which company will have the potential to grow exponentially. Whether the Magnificent Seven continue to lead the market or there is a rotation to something else, it is critical that investors are ready to pull the trigger when the time comes to snag the next 10-bagger. In stock market terms, a 10-bagger is a stock that has risen 10 times in value since the original purchase. Famed investor Peter Lynch is credited with coining this phrase in his book One Up on Wall Street. Hence, a multi-bagger is a stock that gives returns that is several times its cost. Over the last decade, there are 19 stocks in the current S&P 500 index composition that has returned more than 1,000%. Nvidia has risen more than 14,000%, becoming a 14-bagger. So then, what have caused these stocks to deliver such explosive returns? At a glance, we can see from the table that many of the largest winners have come from the technology sector. The top performers of 2023 are, in fact, leaders of technology growth trends like artificial intelligence. From a fundamental perspective, the trajectory of earnings explains the performance of Magnificent Seven relative to the rest of the market. From 2013 to 2019, sales of Magnificent Seven stocks grew at a compound annual growth rate of 15% compared to a 2% growth rate from the rest of the index. The margin narrowed in the past 2 years, but is expected to widen again in the coming years. From 2023 to 2025, Goldman sees a Magnificent Seven growing at a compound annual growth rate of 11% compared to a 3% rate for the rest of the S&P 500. In addition, the performance of the Magnificent Seven has coincided with the rebound in margins. The Magnificent Seven's 19.2% net profit margins are above the 9.8% for the rest of the companies. Cathie Wood's ARK Innovation and Baillie Gifford's Long-Term Global Growth Fund both rebounded dramatically and outperformed the S&P 500 in 2023. ARK Investment and Baillie Gifford are 2 investment firms that focus on investing disruptive companies capable of delivering exceptional long-term investment performance. ARK invests in companies that are relevant to the investment theme of disruptive innovation. ARK defines disruptive innovation as the introduction of technologically enabled new product or service that potentially changes the way world works. Holdings include companies across multiple sectors such as AI, autonomous vehicles, fintech, and 3D printing. Baillie Gifford follows the 10-question stock research framework that focus on identifying companies with the potential to grow to many multiples of their current size. The first consideration is a company's sales growth, with a focus on 5 years and beyond as opposed to trying to predict the next year's earnings. The framework looks for long-term competitive advantages such as a company's culture and how they translate into financials. A look at the fund's top holdings makes it easy to identify the source of their outperformance. Top holdings of RK include Coinbase, Tesla, Roku, while the top performers of Baillie Gifford Long-Term Global Growth Fund include NVIDIA, PDD, and Amazon. As outlined by Baillie Gifford, these top-performing companies can be defined by three key attributes. Firstly, these companies solve real-world problems, and the need for their services is driven by the commercial, economic, and geopolitical challenges of their time. Secondly, they are financially strong and disciplined. And lastly, they are cognitively, culturally, and operationally highly adaptable. All things considered, the top performance of the current market evidently show the benefits of taking the long-term approach to innovative companies that disrupt the way the world works. Thank you for investing your time with us. Until next time, goodbye.